This morning I'm going to show you how to clean your catheter bag out and the Foley that's be attached to it. I just want to let you know, please, you don't have to use chemicals for this. Don't use stuff like this. Because you know what? Like in these catheters right here, the straight catheters that you get, these straight catheters right here, that soap and stuff get up in here. And people don't know that that's how what the bacteria that sits in here can cause you an infection. I stopped doing that because I noticed I was not washing them out clean. Clean, nice, warm, or hot water will clean this out. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start running my water to get it hot. I'm sorry, I have to take that out because it's broke. Okay, so I got my mayonnaise jar. I just took the top off. So while I'm taking my tube off the bag, I'm going to clean this, let the water run in here, and let the water run in here for a minute, just to clean the top out with hot water. I'm going to pour this in here. Okay, next I'm going to sit here and take this off. Make sure you wear gloves. Now you don't want to not wear gloves. You want to keep it as clean as you can. Okay, then I just run the water in here, hot water. No soap, no nothing. All hot water in here. So I'll just let that run for about 4 or 5 minutes. Oh, let me back it up. I'm wrong. Let me start back over. First, you're going to take this wipe and wipe this down real good. You're going to wipe this down real good. Like this. Wipe it all the way down. Do this a couple of times so you make sure to try to get it a little bit clean. See? Do that. And this is just a plain old wet wipe. That's all you need is a plain old wet wipe to clean this up. I'm sorry, I have to do it with one hand and holding the camera, so. But that's how you're supposed to do it. Then you dump that in the toilet, because that's a flushable. Next, I'll put this in the mayonnaise jar, like so. And I'll let it run, all hot water, for about 2 or 3 minutes. So meanwhile, what I'll be doing while I'm letting that hot water run is I'll weigh myself, I'll use the bathroom, and I'll clean up the bathroom. That'll give it time to clean, to keep the water running in here. So after I do that, what I do is I turn the water off, I put the top on it, like so. And why I say you got to put the top on it, don't forget, you have to keep this wet because the balloon will bust in this if you don't keep this moist. But with the straight catheter like this, if you wipe that off with a wet wipe and stuff and clean that up with water, hot water, you can dry this off because they tell you to put soap in it or some kind of peroxide and all that stuff in there. You don't have to do all that. All you have to do is, and then they tell you to dry it out on something like a chuck or you can get a towel. But all that's happening when you leave it out exposed like that, particles just dropping all over this. Particles is going all over it. So what I would recommend you to do with the straight catheter is go wash it out real good, thoroughly. Have a clean jar that's dry. And dry this off and put it in that jar until you're ready to use it. I usually, if I run out of catheters, what I'll do is I'll usually save up about 10 of these and reuse them back over. Okay, let's go. Now we're going to start cleaning the bag up. And I'll show you how to do that now. This is what you do. You take this part right here from the catheter bag after you took the Foley off of there, and you just put it up to the water and just let it drain into the down. Keep the water as hot as you can. See how it's draining? That's a little bit too hot for me, but that's all right. It's draining right into the bag down here on the floor, right there. And you just let that get full. You need to do this twice. You need to do this twice to make sure it's all cleaned out. And I just want to let you know, if you notice, I use these bags at least a good 4 or 5 weeks. I mean, 2 or 3 weeks. But if you notice some white stuff going in here, notice some white in the you see this right here, this clear tubing. If you start noticing any kind of stuff going into this tubing, it's time to get rid of it. Throw it away. It's time to get a new one. And the same way with this balloon. I try to throw that away at least every 2 weeks. I don't use that a whole lot like that for a whole month. But it's time to change it. So change up on it. Because you don't want to get an infection. You keep using it if you see that stuff running in your tube. Anything you see in this tube that's dirty, that's not supposed to be there, change it. It's not worth it. And this is how you clean it. So don't forget, when you do this twice. Empty this bag out, and then redo this again by holding it up to the hot water. And then I'll tell you what to do next after all this is over with. I'll take my bag and hang it in the shower and keep the water in there. Don't let the water out. Keep the water in there until you're ready to use it. And then it's ready to be used. You'll empty the water out when it's time to use it again. And when you're ready to use this again, you'll dump the water out, dry it off, and use it. Make sure to put the top back on here and keep some clean water in here. And then just put it aside. And you're ready to go. By Leona.